So what were those early days like for you guys? I read that you guys are sometimes touring, you sleep on people's floors, you were crammed into cars. Like, what was that experience like, kind of just going from the ground up?
I mean,
all of that stuff is just practical. Like, if you'd book a tour and you'd have a list of shows and you'd know pretty much how much you were going to be making on the tour. So you just work backwards from that. Like, well, how much can we spend? Well, we can only spend this much if we're going to come home with a profit. And I'm pretty proud of the fact that I've made a profit on every tour I've ever been on, just in a sense that we were aware of our limitations and we were comfortable working within them. Like, if you're only going to draw 100 people, and that means you're only going to make a couple $100 on the show, then you don't blow 70 or 80 of it on a hotel room. You just find a place to stay where it's not going to cost you anything. That's a purely practical matter. And I mean, and every band in the underground operated the same way. Like, everybody shared information with each other and everybody hosted each other. So like, if we played in Wisconsin, for example, we might stay with members of Killdozer, or we might, crash at the house of the radio DJ that got us the gig or something like that. If we played in Minneapolis, there was a sort of a fraternity of bands up there that we were sort of loosely affiliated with. And so we could all just scatter and stay at their houses. Like, the idea of getting a hotel room for your band to stay in seemed like an absurd indulgence that just nobody did. Like, just literally nobody did that.
One of the things I think is really cool about the underground punk scene is that so many of you guys, Big Black included, you would book your own shows, arrange your own press, that sort of thing. Was that ever like really straining, having to do all that technical stuff as well as the music too?
No, I find it much less stressful than worrying about somebody else fucking something up for me, Like, even now, I don't have a manager, I don't have a lawyer. Our band books its own shows, We don't have a press person, we don't have a publicist. I find all of that stuff much easier to navigate than me having to call a manager who then has to call a publicist, who then has to call his list of writers and then get availabilities and then call the manager and give the manager the list of availabilities, and then the manager confronts me with the list of availabilities, and then I go, just all this stuff is just so inefficient and so time consuming and so wasteful, and all of it costs money. So that means that you're burning more of a limited resource every time you indulge in these kind of formalities, and we just refuse to do it.